Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Carefully Speaking with me, your host, Dr. Jamillah Brown. And this, my friends, is episode 12. Yes, and that is a powerful number. For those of you who know about numbers or numerology, 12 represents completion. Right? 12 is a number of structure and cycles. And so we have made it through 12 full chapters of truth-telling, of heart-centered conversations, and of healing language. And so today, I am taking a moment to reflect, right? I want to reflect back and honor just how far we have come. So, whether you've been listening since episode 1 or if you are just tuning in today, I welcome you. My name is Dr. Jamillah Brown. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I'm a doctor of social work. I've been a mental health professional with over 20 years of direct practice and administrative experience. But my most prideful role is being a mother of 2 amazing children. But in addition to that, I'm also a very deeply reflective human being, right? And I believe very strongly in the powers of emotional integrity, honesty, clarity, and connection. And so this podcast was born from that desire. It is my offering to you. It is a space where we can speak carefully, truthfully, and with intention. And it's especially for those who carry much of the world's weight with grace and grit. And I'm talking about the parents, the caregivers, right? The therapists, the educators, the wellness coaches, and anyone else who finds themselves in the role of a nurturer, healer, or holder of space. So whether you're holding it all together at home, in the workplace, or in the community, or even in your own spirit, this space is for you. So let's talk. So from the beginning, we began with episode 1, Intro to Carefully Speaking, right? And this is where the seeds were planted and the foundation was laid. I opened up about why I created this space as a place to say the things that we are often too tired, too busy, or too afraid to say out loud. It was a soft reminder that we deserve to care for ourselves as much as we care for everyone else, even more so. And not just when it's convenient, but especially when the world is demanding so much of our performance on a day-to-day basis. And then came episode 2, Who Heals the Healer? Oof, let me tell you, this one was big, and it was personal, and it was heartfelt. Because it wasn't just about being strong, it's about what it costs to be strong all the time. So we explored the idea of invisible labor and how that often comes with someone who's in a caregiving or providing role, right? Especially for those of us who are always holding everyone else as parents, as leaders, as professionals, right? And so that episode was a permission slip. It was permission to choose softness and to choose yourself first. So then came the April awareness segment. As the month of April came in, it brought us into a reflective rhythm as our April Awareness series. And so in episode 3, April's Call to Heal, that episode was a soft opening into Stress Awareness Month and a reminder to pause and honor the body. Episode 4, Listen to Black Women, period, was a very deep, powerful, data-driven, and personal episode about Black maternal health. I shared personal truths about my own birthing journey, and I also shared the realities for many other Black and brown birthing people. And I highlighted why it is so important to listen to Black and brown birthing people, because this is a public health imperative. And then in episode 5, which was bringing the margin to the center, we honored National Minority Health Month by pulling the curtains back, by looking at what actually is missing in public health equity and naming the need for cultural humility over surface level competency. So this whole segment reminded us that awareness is not enough without accountability. And then we arrived into what I call the middle milestones, right? And this was really the heart of the season. The stretch was for transformation, and where the line is drawn between transformation and how fatigue often sits in. But we still keep going. So in episode 6, How Are You Doing Really? We kicked off Mental Health Awareness Month by rejecting the performative, oh, I'm fine answers. And we introduced 5 emotional archetypes, which are often roles that we play, and we invited real, honest check-ins. And in episode 7, The Realness of Fatherhood, this was our Father's Day special episode. And so we honored the tenderness of Black and brown men. And we redefined what fatherhood looks like, right? Not just as providing, but as presence. And we talked about legacy, about survival, and about breaking emotional bonds. And then there was a pivot, right? There was a shift. Episode 8, The Month of the Magical Summer. And this is where we released the pressure to perform a perfect summer, especially for parents, moms, and dads, and other caregivers, right? So we reclaimed our presence over the perfection. And in episode 9, Backpacks and Boundaries, this was released in the 9th month of September, right? And it was also the 9th episode. So which, again, it was very symbolic, but it was a reminder that September doesn't just mean sacrificing yourself, right? We talked about sustainable rhythms and letting go of burnout as a badge. And in episode 10, What Your Kids Don't Say, this is where we asked to listen between the silences and to decode some of the behaviors that we see in our children, right? And we honored what is true sometimes. The truth is that children sometimes speak the loudest through what they do not say. And then finally, in episode 11, Fall Forward, Make Space for You Again. This was the nudge, right? This was the gentle push to come back to your own joy, to come back to your own rhythm, and to come back to your own voice. And not just someday, but right now. And so here we are, 12 episodes deep, 12 conversations in, 12 reflections, 12 chances to pause, to speak, and to choose care again. If you're just joining this journey, I welcome you. And if you've been here from the beginning, I see you and I thank you. Carefully Speaking is not just a podcast. No, it's not just something to listen to. It's a practice. It's a rhythm. It's a return to yourself. And as we continue to dive deeper into friendships, into our inner child, into leadership, rest, and truth, let's close with this before we go. Right? As we complete this cycle, again, I wish to thank you, all of you, so, so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reflecting and for being part of your own journey. Thank you so much. And I promise you, there is a lot more in store. More truth, more clarity, more careful speaking. And you know what? I would love to know, what was your favorite episode? What truth resonated the most with you? You can email me, message me, tag me, share this with someone who needs it. And as always, my invitation is to keep speaking carefully and keep becoming more of who you already are. So, until next time, this is your host, Dr. Jamillah Brown, signing off.